Anush, it's a pleasure to have you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So you work at AMD, focus on GPUs. It's a very tough competitive market. So AMD, is not an unknown company to many, but GPU space is where people will be a little bit more intrigued and understand how you're trying to get into that landscape.
Yeah, so very good question. So I think AMD has been around for like 55 years. So it's built very good hardware over the years, and we have a very pervasive AI hardware platform, and now we're building a pervasive software platform. The key is that we now have a performance story with the competition, but we also have a TCO advantage when laid over with how we approach things, and we also have a open ecosystem, so it is very inclusive of anyone coming in and lift all boats, and you own your destiny in terms of having an open source platform. But yeah, AMD, when you think of AI, I'd encourage you to think of AMD, and I'm sure there'll be a solution that we will have for you if you want to deploy or thinking of deploying AI in your business.
You also have enterprise customers you already work with. Breaking into that space is also very challenging. So one is technology, the other is the business side of the company. So a little bit, if you can elaborate on breaking into that market.
Yeah, so AMD is no stranger to the enterprise market, right? Like, because the CPU business, we have a very good portion of the CPU business in the enterprise is AMD and EPYC platforms. So we have the routes to market set up, we have the ecosystem, we have the hyperscaler partnerships, and now that we have a GPU platform and a GPU software story, it is easy for us to kind of like use the same formula to be able to approach the enterprises with a cohesive CPU GPU story, so that irrespective of the compute, you have the ability to get a solution from AMD for it.
It's a good thing to learn from you is that how do you go beyond friendly adopters? GPU, like I said, is a very, very tough competitive market. To convince the potential market beyond your friendly adopters, some lessons that you have learned.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think the friendly adopters and the early adopters are always like, they're looking for the new thing. They're, let's say, less risk averse, and they want to try it out. But I think there's no way but through, right? So you have to take one step at a time, convince one at a time, and that's how our partnership with DigitalOcean, for example, we did a POC in a couple weeks with a customer. We demonstrated it for a month in production, and now we're actually scaling to multiple thousands of GPUs, all in a few weeks and months, right? So we just have to do that. Rinse, repeat for multiple customers, and then you'll actually be opening up markets and verticals that we typically would have thought is taking a while to get in, but you just kind of like chip away at it and get to it.
Thank you for coming and helping moderate the session, but thank you for being here and sharing your thoughts.
Thank you for having me.